want to start out by, again, thanking our fans that made the trip to Rutgers or came out from, their homes up there and came to see us Saturday. It was great. We had a good showing. I know everybody was disappointed in the outcome. We certainly were, in our facility. And a lot of effort goes in every week, a lot of hard work. And losing's never easy. But what we can control is our effort and our attitude, our mindset moving forward, preparing for Marshall. Had good meetings yesterday, Sunday. The guys had yesterday off to regen and watch film on their own and those type of things. So, but obviously, this Marshall group is a good football team, well coached. I know Charles Huff very well. We were together on staff at Penn State, and he's a good friend. So he's doing a nice job. They're 2-0. They had a bye week. I'm sure they're feeling healthy and will be well prepared. This game I know for a lot of Hokie faithful with the connection with Frank Loria, with Rick Tolley. Of course, J.C. Price coached there for 9 years, I believe. Grant transferred in, C.J. McCray. My father played quarterback there. There's just a lot of ties to Marshall, and they're all big games. They're all meaningful games, but it's just another lining to this one with some of those aspects. So I'd like to open it up for some questions. I know they just informed me you just got the depth chart, and I apologize for that. But for me, just about depth charts on a Tuesday, there's not a lot of concrete. There's not a lot I can say. It doesn't mean a whole lot to me on Tuesdays. There's some things on there that are concrete, but there's also, there's injury issues, there's performance issues. We need these 4 days to evaluate things on both those standpoints to have a true depth chart. So a Tuesday depth chart to me doesn't say a whole lot. I know a lot of people have gone away from them, but I think there's things that you can know on a Tuesday, but there's a lot of things you don't know. And then there's always things that, you want to keep it close to the cuff, that you just feel like it's better off that the opponent doesn't know the answer to the questions. So anyways, I'll open it up for questions.
Raise your hand, we'll get your wireless mic. We'll start with Anthony.
Brent, obviously, you guys dealt with some travel issues. You had the marathon rain delay a couple weeks ago, and then obviously you've been hit by the injury bug pretty good. How do you feel like your guys have handled some of that adversity, even just from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, honestly, I wish we'd played a little better. Culturally, I think we're in a great place. I think Josh Fuga's quote post-game is a testament to that. We got a close group. They're sticking together. I think they see the team that we can be, like I see it, like our coaches see it. No, we just got to play better. Got to coach better, got to play better.
Go Andy and then David.
I know what you just said about the depth chart. Looking, you have Grant or Kyron at quarterback. Didn't seem like Grant was close to playing last week. Did you feel like he could be closer after another week of healing up? And how do you approach that situation?
Yeah, I think his progress was slow last week. I was hoping he'd be an emergency guy for the game. I don't know that he really was. That was going to be a tough one. But, we're going to continue to work and treat him and rehab him. I saw him this morning. He's definitely feeling better. But until we get out there and see what you can do, moving around and, you just don't know. I mean, I think sometimes you carry guys all the way to pregame. We really weren't sure about Jalen Lane until pregame. There was a couple of routes in pregame that just didn't look great, and you don't want a major setback. And, so right now Grant's questionable, I'd say. Certainly better off than he was last week at this time.
And given a couple days of separation from the game, how do you evaluate how Kyron did after you go back and look at the film?
I'm excited about Kyron. I think he did some really good things in the game. I've said it from the beginning. I think we got two quarterbacks that both do certain things really well. We had two guys that got a chance to be the type of guy we need and want. So, I'm excited about his performance. I talked to him yesterday. I mean, very proud of some things he did, and I think he really helped our run game. I thought it opened it up. When I look at that end zone copy and, just having to defend him as well, running the ball, I think helped us in that regard. I think he threw some very nice balls. I think there's a couple he'd like to have back, but I think he threw some nice balls as well.
And with regards to the safeties, you don't have Nasir Peoples on the depth chart that's weak. Is that a sign that could be a longer-term thing with him?
Yeah, I mean, God, he's so resilient, and he's a tough, tough guy. He's out this week, but, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that Sunday, I get the word that we're going to give him a shot and get him to a questionable, place where we can work with him. And he's anxious. He's eager. I saw him this morning in the weight room. I mean, he's in there full sweat. I mean, he's doing everything he can to get back. We're missing him right now. Nasir's a communicator. He's a student of the game. He had a good handle on things in the boundary, really good run fitter, and a good tackler.
David in the back of the room.
Brent, we saw a team that was down 18, got back within 5. When you look back at the tape, what indicated to you that, hey, this is the team we could be if we can just do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was for just a small portion there, we were sustaining drives and getting 3 and outs on defense. We actually had just some moments there where we were complementing each other, and it allowed us to get back in the game. We have to do that more often. I think, but the sustained drives, and then I think we had 5 or 6 3 and outs defensively. And again, there's good signs of the units that we can be. We just have to do it more consistently. Ultimately, again, it goes back to, you look at the top 5, 6, 7 teams. I think even 8 teams in the country right now in turnover margin, they're all undefeated. I mean, we just can't. We have to protect the ball better, and we have to be more aggressive in taking the ball away. It's just a huge factor in winning.
Front row, Damien.
Brent, you mentioned this here in terms of run fit and how well he does there. How do you evaluate the run fit and what, playing Jalen Jones, Mose Phillips, most second half, and how they did, and what do you need to shore up in terms of run fit so that way, Marshall doesn't have a performance like Rutgers had?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, obviously, we take a lot of pride in, I do personally, I know Coach Marv does as well, just, in being staunch against the run. That's where it starts to me. And we're not good enough right now. That's evident. But, why and what needs fixed, where do we need to be better? There's a lot of things at play there. I think we're capable. I think, we've got some misfits. I think for the first 3 quarters, we just didn't defend the quarterback runs well enough. And it loosened us up and got us out of sorts a little bit. So we've talked a lot about that. We have a better plan there because Marshall's quarterback can run as well. And then I think at the end there, we just got out of sorts. We were pressing a little bit, guys trying to do things that really weren't their job. We lost the edge of the defense, which is always a problem when you give that up. But, as I said, I mean, not having Stroman and Nasir, Mose Phillips was playing his 3rd college football game. Jalen Jones was playing his 3rd game at safety. It's a lot on those guys, and I'm excited about both of them, really excited. And they did some good things in that game. Obviously, we got to be better. It's not just those guys. We got, we'll get Allen back this week to complement Jaden Keller, and we got to be improved there. And I think there's too many runs where there's 2-3 yards after contact. We got to be able to turn guys back better. That's about getting in better position with better reads and fits, and then just getting lower and having a little more lead to us and get some knockbacks.
Is this one of those situations where because of the youth, you're going to take some lumps in that early in that, through film correction and experience, it should improve as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think you always hope for that, whether you got even veterans, but especially with young guys. I mean, we've got Christian Williams back healthy. You're going to start to see him more and more. He's a talented young freshman. I think Braylon's snaps are going to go up. Dante played a good number of snaps on teams and defense on Saturday. We had Takai Heath all primed up and ready. He was part of the rotation at receiver, and unfortunately he'll be out at least this week, if not a little bit longer. So, we've got to play these young guys think Big Brody Meadows played some good snaps on the O-line, which helps. We got some other guys there coming along. You know, I think Lath and Johnny Garrett and some guys that are getting closer and closer each week.
Was on the Sunbelt conference call yesterday. Charles Huff, and he calls you one of his closest friends in the profession. How did that relationship develop? Because he mentioned, being on both sides of the ball, you guys would be able to go at each other a bit
Yeah.
when, he would move the ball on you, you would get stops. And how's that relationship develop? And it's similar to Ricky, where you really can't talk ball during
Yeah.
the season.
Yeah, I love Charles. I'm so excited and happy for him. And when he got that job and that opportunity, I couldn't have been more thrilled for him. Knew he was going to do a great job. He's got a ton of energy. He's smart. He came in and interviewed us. We were kind of holed up in a hotel when we first got to Penn State, and he came in and interviewed for the job and just knocked it out of the park. Very professional, very organized, and a great personality. We've had a lot of good laughs and a lot of good moments, and so I think he's doing a great job. I'm always pulling for him, other than this Saturday.
David.
You mentioned Allen. You have any update on Jalen Stroman or Keontae Jenkins? And I know, and hopefully they're going to be able to go this week.
Yeah, I'd say Keontae is probable, and I'd say that that Stroman is questionable.
When
Again, it's hard, till we go out there today. When I hear from the trainers, it's, we're going to see what he can do today. He's limited. So today's the day you want to push them a little bit and see where they're at, but also you don't want to set them back. So it's an ongoing deal. I mean, some of those guys will it'll be a Saturday decision.
in terms of Kyron, where has he improved the most since he stepped foot on campus?
I think understanding of the offense. I mean, again, we talked about, Mose and Jalen and the limited experience. I mean, Kyron just started his first college football game, and it's, he's just getting better and better all the time. And honestly, that's been the case with him since he's gotten here. That was practice by practice. And I think, we're all looking, and he's looking to be more consistent, better knowledge, fewer plays that you'd like to have back. But I think he's excited, and we're excited for him.
Let's go Anthony and then Andy.
Brent, I know he had a big drop, but it seemed like that Felton and Drones had a pretty good connection out there, and we're building a good rapport with each other. Is he a guy that you feel like can kind of step up for you guys and make some of those explosive plays, especially without Ollie Jennings?
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs to. He wants to. He gets better all the time. He was pretty raw coming in here, but he's got great work ethic. He's tough. He's beating himself up over the drop. I mean, this guy has got to be an impact guy for us. He's capable. He's going to get better each week, and we need some complementary pieces around him with Steven and with Tuck and some guys coming around, and obviously, if we have Jalen Lane back, I think that's we gotta have a couple of guys out there that people have to defend and worry about.
Let's go Andy, Damien, and then we'll go to Zoom.
Do you have more clarity on how long you think Ali might be out?
I don't actually. He's back in the weight room starting today. He's back in meetings. He's back. It was great to see him. He was in a team meeting on Sunday. I mean, him and Gallo, guys that have been, for 2 weeks, hadn't been around. I mean, it's, those are leaders. Those are guys that the guys look up to. Great sounding boards, just models of confidence and consistency. And, so it's good to have those guys back in the building.
When you look at Marshall's offense, I think last year they really beat you with the run. Look like they're passing it a little bit better this year. How do they threaten the defense when they're out there?
Yeah, I think they have a great tailback. He's explosive. He's fast. He's a hard runner. They got a big O-line. I was surprised how big they are. I think they have a tight end that's very active that helps their offense. And then they got a quarterback that he's got great feet. He's kind of a gunslinger. He's made some good throws. He's made some good runs. I think they're a little bit, I know the numbers say they're throwing the ball more. I think they're going to want to get back to a well-balanced offense. I think that's who they want to be. And you know, I think this quarterback gives him a chance to do that.
You mentioned the run game with drones and how that opened up. Bayshall averaged 4.1 yards a carry. Did you see more of a burst that you wanted in terms of evaluating the run game, and you think there's more there for him?
I do. Yeah, we got to keep. You know, we just. I hope we're just scratching the surface there. I mean, we got to continue to improve where we have confidence in our run game, where we're not going every week wondering if we can run it. You know, you want to have confidence that you're going to be able to do that.
And Malachi Thomas, is it just? Do you need to get confidence going with a few good runs? Because it seems like he's been bottled up quite a bit the first 3 weeks.
You know, I think he's gone out there and done a nice job. You know, he had a couple of nice runs over the 3 weeks, and you know, it's that 1-2 punch, and it's hard when you don't get one going. It's hard to get two going. You know, we gotta get the run game going, and that's, you know, that's all of it. That's the tight ends, that's the O-line, that's the backs, that's the quarterback, that's the play caller. You know, everybody's got a piece in that.
All right, let's go to Zoom for a couple.
On Zoom, please use the raise hand feature to ask questions for Coach Pry, and we'll open with David Teal, please.
Brent, regarding the run game, you're one of only 6 teams in the country that hasn't broken a rush of at least 20 yards this season. How much easier would life be if you could get some of those big burst plays? And what's the key to springing them?
Yeah, I think it's all 11, you know, doing their job. We got some missed executions, you know, in the perimeter. I think we got the backs that can do that, including our quarterback. But, you know, sustaining drives is tough. And I think to your point, our conversation was we sustained some drives, but there wasn't enough explosive plays. I think we only had 4 in the game. We had some additional runs that were 10, maybe 11, but, you know, to hit that explosive mark, it's hard to drive the field enough times to score enough points. You know, you need the explosive plays to move the sticks in a hurry and move them in a big way. So I think it's a good question and a valid point that we need to be better at.
And then have you noticed much difference with the new clock rules?
You know, for me, I feel like it's going a little. You know, we had 7 possessions in the first half and 5 in the second offensively. You know, you notice it when you notice it, right? In the moment and when it matters, you kind of. Other than that, I don't think so. You know, the game seems to go a little faster, but you don't really notice it until you need to.
We'll go to Mike Barber next, please.
Hey, Brent, I wanted to just be clear on the quarterback deal. If Grant Wells is healthy, is he still your starter?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd have to see how the week goes. You know, that's a question that would be answered maybe as late as Saturday. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I think all week takes an evaluation. We had a heck of a competition with those guys all preseason camp. And, you know, if Grant's healthy enough to get a good week of practice in, then we'll make that decision on Friday or Saturday, who gives us the best chance to play well and beat Marshall. I'll tell you a story, just you made me think of it. You know, when my dad was quarterbacking there, they were playing Ball State or Miami of Ohio or somebody. And Coach Lingle called him in on Saturday morning because it was raining like heck outside. And he had the 3 or 4 quarterbacks stand up and put their throwing hand up. He said, "Which one of you's got the biggest hand?" And my dad, he said, "Jim, you're the starter today. Whoever gives you the best chance to win the game." And, you know, so I think, you know, I hope Grant is healthy enough that we're having that discussion. You know, we need to get him well.
And in terms of Marshall and it being a homecoming potentially for Grant, do you have a sense of emotionally kind of where he's at, what playing back there would mean to him? And do you coach him all in that area in terms of dealing with that situation?
No, we haven't really talked about it. I think everything's been about the injury and getting him well and how he's feeling and, you know, kind of supporting him through that.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll go to Joseph on Zoom, please.
Hi, Coach. Is there anything that you'd like to see Chiron improve on from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, I guess the thing that jumps out to me the most is just some of those deep balls that they're in play. Like, give us a chance. You know, there's been a couple of those, you know, even going back to the end of the Purdue game. Give those guys a chance. He's got a strong arm. Boy, you know, just you always want to feel like the wideout's got a chance to go make the catch. I think that's a couple he'd like to have back as well.
Any final questions on Zoom? Okay, Travis.
All right, real quick here in the room, David and then Roz to wrap it up.
Through 3 weeks, what's been your evaluation of teams and how special teams has been doing?
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty pleased. I think overall, pretty pleased. I think we got to get those punt returners going. I think we got 2 good ones, and Tuck, you know, that was evident again Saturday. We got to make sure we're giving those guys the best chance to be successful there, because to me that's a game changer. And then I think, you know, I think we're kicking the ball well, but we've had some missed kicks at inopportune times. You know, the punt on Saturday, the missed field goal. You know, you want to be consistent enough that you know it helps you when you need to help. But I think our coverage has been good. We've done some good stuff. You know, that's an area we need to win each and every week right now to be the team that we can be.
Last one, Roz.
Coach Pry, you said on Saturday after the game that Jalen Lane had a bit of a hitch in warm-ups. You know, it looked like he might have been able to go, but he wasn't able to. Do you have an update on him, and do you think as this week progresses he'll be working towards being able to play on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he's got a much better shot this week. You know, when you're dealing with injuries, it's, you know, you want to practice them enough that they're ready and to feel like they can go out and play winning football, but you don't want to set them back. So it's challenging, you know, and that's all of us. That's myself, the position coach, the trainers. That's Jalen, you know, with each one of these guys that are injured. You know, it's you have to get enough work to feel like you can go play and play well, but you don't want to have a setback. You want to continue the recovery and feeling better and better each day. So there's a lot of planning that goes into that. It's a lot of discussions in what that practice needs to look like, how many reps, where are the reps, how much full speed work, all those things. You know, and you kind of go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and, you know, Fridays, we're fast Friday, so our guys are running around on Friday. It's another good day for us to evaluate.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.